Hi! So I'm taking this semester off from school and I have all this downtime and I am obsessed with stuff. None of my friends are obsessed with anything outside of Tumblr friends. Kind of just makes your life a little depressing when nobody cares about what you care about. What better use of my time than talk about things I'm obsessed with over the internet? So it might take me a while to get used to making these videos. It might be really awkward for a while. I'm sorry, I can't help it. That's how I am. Finished this book series yesterday. I've basically been crying nonstop ever since. And that book series was Beautiful Creatures. So this is Beautiful Creatures. The movie is coming out on Valentine's Day. So I'll try to keep this spoilers free, and if I know that there's going to be spoilers, then I'll give you a little warning. Then you can just kindly push pause. It's been like an entire month since I finished reading this book, so excuse me if I'm a little, lost on the details. Beautiful Creatures is about Ethan Waite, who is 16 years old, and he lives in Gatlin, South Carolina, and in the beginning of the book, he is just completely intent on leaving Gatlin and the small-minded people that live there, and he just wants to break away from all that. And his mom just died and he's still trying to deal with that. His dad is basically dead to the world because he's so depressed about Ethan's mom, and there's nothing keeping him there really. Then Lena Duquesne comes to town to live with her uncle Macon, who is basically the town's Boo Radley. People are kind of scared of him because he never leaves the house. Ethan just feels completely drawn to her, and he can't figure out why. And now, bear with me, I know it sounds a lot like the beginning of Twilight. I thought so too when I first read it, but okay, keep watching. Ethan and Lena become friends first, and then he comes to find out that Lena is actually a caster, and her whole family has these different powers. Lena is a natural, so she controls like the weather, like the earth, elements, whatever. Her family has this curse, which we come to find out the history of the curse throughout the book. The curse is that on their 16th birthday, they will be claimed for the light or the dark, and basically what happens when you go dark is that you are just incapable of love. You are so evil. Basically, you just don't want to go dark. Lena is just terrified that she's gonna go dark and then her family will like disown her or whatever, because the same thing happened to her cousin Ridley, who is really, really sassy. Ethan and Lena fall in love. It's not one of those, Twilight type loves that just is so annoying and you're like, are you just obsessed with each other? It's the type of love that it's like, oh my god, can they just kiss, please? And keep in mind, this is the first book, so it's just kind of introducing everything. The plot gets deeper and deeper and deeper as the books go on. I think it's the kind of same with every series. As the first book, the threats in the first book, when you read the last book, you're like, oh, that was nothing compared to what's going on. That's exactly what happens in this series. It just gets more and more intense and stressful, and God, these books ruined my life, I'm telling you. Ethan and Lena decide that if they are going to be together, they are going to figure out a way that Lena can claim herself. Try to figure out a way that they can break this curse that her family has had for like 200 years. It's so interesting the way that history, like of the Civil War, ties in with this series and the things that happened. Like, the reason for the curse happened in the Civil War. I feel like everyone's comparing Twilight to Beautiful Creatures, which doesn't make any sense. It's not the same thing. Trust me, you want to read this if you haven't already. I really, really, really loved this series. I'm just totally obsessed with it now. I can't wrap my head around the fact that I've read the last book and now I have nothing in life to look forward to anymore. But the movie is coming out, so that's a plus. What I love about these books is the characters are so strong. They could stand on their own. See, for example, in other series, Twilight, you're so concentrated on the romance that you just don't care about any of the rest of it, and I feel like that's not doing a series the right way. You need to care about the characters and even the minor characters and the like subplots and the themes. It's so rare that you read a series and all of the characters just develop so much through every single book. Ethan in Beautiful Creatures is not the same as Ethan in Beautiful Darkness. Ethan in Beautiful Darkness is not the same as Ethan in Beautiful Chaos, and Ethan in Beautiful Chaos sure as hell is not the same as Ethan in Beautiful Redemption. It's so amazing that these books, as the series goes on, they just get better and more interesting, and there's different things that you find out about, different histories of the like villain characters, and it's so interesting. You just like cannot put these books down. When I read Beautiful Creatures, I was like, yeah, this is pretty good, but I don't know if I'm really that into it, but I am at the same time. I don't know. I'll just go ahead and read this series. And then when I read this is when I got really into this series and I started caring about the characters way more and why they were doing what they were doing. And it was really stressful, and I was just stressed out on a daily basis because of the things that were happening in here. This one is the one that sealed the deal for me. I read Beautiful Chaos and I was just, at the end, I was just sobbing. This is the one that just, everything starts to happen. And then this guy. What a life ruiner. It's like, you're just rooting these people on no matter who they are. Even like Ridley, Link, Liv, John, everybody. Another reason I really like this series is because even the characters that are introduced in the second book, at first you're like, ooh, I don't know, I don't like new characters, I don't like change, I don't like any of this. And at first you're like, I don't know about these people, I don't know if I like them, I don't know if I want to read about them, I don't know if I care about them. Every character in these books has such a strong personality. It's like you want these people to just be real and be friends with you, and you just want to be best friends with all of them. I've shed tears over characters that I never thought I would shed tears over. Don't pay attention to people when they say that it's like Twilight, that it's the new Twilight. That's what they said about the Hunger Games too, so there's that. Basically, to sum everything up, Beautiful Creatures is amazing. You have to read it. You need to be obsessed with it so that I can talk to you about being obsessed with it, because nobody else that I know has read it. Tumblr has a very small percentage of people that have actually read it and that are obsessed with it like I am. So I need people to cry with me over how perfect Ethan is, and Ethan and Lena, and Liv and John, and Ridley, and Link, and Emma, and everybody. I just love these books, you guys, and I want you guys to read them. So hopefully there's more of you out there that are actually obsessed with Beautiful Creatures like I am, and maybe even this will inspire you to read the books. I really hope so, because they're amazing. It's one of my favorite series. Yeah, read the books. Sorry I'm awkward, bye.